What is up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Here behind me we got Project CB9 back from the body shop. We had a lot of issues with the core support, which was causing the headlights, grille, and bumper alignment to be way off. That has now been resolved. So let's go ahead and show you what it took in order to get it where it's at right now. Let's take a closer look. First Honda Accord we come across, front end collision, core support is ruined. Move on to the next one. 1992 Honda Accord sedan in mint green. Looks like we've got the center radiator support replaced, indication of a front end collision. We will go ahead and pass on this one. 1992 Accord Coupe, dark green color, definitely not Arcadia. Front end, no damage. Let's go check out the sedan before we start deciding which core support we're gonna grab. So this is not bad. 1991 beige sedan. Front end looks okay. We'll go back to green. All right, here another salvage yard, a little further south of my house. They actually have two green CB7 Accords in stock. Went and checked it out. The other Accord, which was a sedan, that had actually front end damage. The center radiator support was damaged. However, this 92 Coupe in the background here is untouched on the front end. Original hardware on the grille and headlights. So we're gonna go ahead and start stripping the front end down so we can get that core support. Let's go ahead and get started. All right, bad news, guys. This core support's not gonna work. After getting the bumper off, come to find out, there's this big indentation on the bottom side. Plus we've got a lot of rust issues here on the bottom corner, along with where this wire harness connects on the inside of the engine bay. So this just core support is just not worth grabbing. We're gonna try somewhere else. We'll see what happens. Okay, junkyard stop number 2 for the day. This location has 2 CB7 Accords. First location had a few of them. However, all the core supports are in bad shape. So we'll go ahead, see what this one has to offer, and hopefully we're lucky with that core support. White 92 Accord, looks like to be an LX or DX. It's got the EX wheels on it, but no sunroof. So someone put the EX wheels on it, but anyhow, this one looks to be okay. A little on the dirty side. So we'll go ahead and check the red one here. See if that one's any better. 1992 Accord sedan in maroon. Core support looks pretty straight. Even though it's red, it's gonna be repainted anyways. So let's go ahead and grab this core support. right, guys, big success here at the yard. First yard was a failure with rust and damage on the bottom of the core support. Second yard actually had 2 Accords here. Both of them were unwrecked, so this was the better looking condition. Took about an hour and a half to remove this core support. Thank God I bought 9-inch Sawzall blades for my electric saw. Had to cut out the frame rails for the time being because I didn't think I'd have time to drill out all those spot welds. So I'll go ahead and operate on that when I get this thing home. But so happy I got this core support. These things are sold out nationwide. And this is OEM, so this will be prepped for paint and repainted the Arcadia green color. But this is OEM, so it's gonna be a thicker metal and everything's gonna be exact on this. So I'm really happy. I think the price on this was $30, I believe. Not bad. Aftermarkets cost anywhere from about 95 to 150 shipped. So can't beat that. Gotta put a little effort in there and prep and painting it and whatnot and drilling the spot welds out, but that's okay. We got a quality core support now, so it's a shame this 92's in the junkyard. It has 255,000 miles, but there's something majorly wrong because it wasn't wrecked in the front and rear. Most likely transmission related. Anyhow, got the core support. I'm gonna load this, come back home, and we'll start drilling out the spot welds. All right, got the core support home from the salvage yard. It's the next day here. I've got this in my basement. I am now prepping this for the body shop. And what I'm doing is I'm essentially drilling out specific spot welds. And basically what these spot welds do is they hold the frame rails and parts of the apron in the position. So once you drill out certain spot welds, it should separate itself, you know. So here's some dimples right here, you know, some dimples and dimples. You drill those out with, you know, a small drill bit first and open them up, and it should separate from the core support itself. And essentially how this core support is attached to the car is you've got your frame rails right here behind it. I had to basically cut this in a quick fashion at the salvage yard because I got there around 3 o'clock and they're kicking everyone out around 4:30. So luckily I brought my 9-inch Sawzall blade to cut through this frame rails and the apron itself. After I stripped down the front end, I did not have time to drill this out at the salvage yard due to time constraints. So I was able to get this home in a quick fashion and very happy about how much this thing cost. I thought this was gonna be about $30 to $50 and went to go check out. Turns out this radiator core support was only $15. So I was very pleased at that price. A lot of work getting this off, about an hour and a half. And as I said before, these aftermarket core supports are sold out nationwide due to the COVID crisis and shortage on metals. So this one looks to be pretty fresh, and we'll go ahead and give you some more updates on this as we work through separating these spot welds off the frame rails and aprons. All right, just finished drilling using the smallest bit on all the spot welds. There's 25 on that side, 24 on this side, total 49. So there's a lot of drilling going on here. Now we're gonna start opening up the bit sizes here. And as the holes get opened up, then the frame rails and the apron pieces will separate themselves. Passenger side frame rail and apron has been drilled out officially. Went through 2 bits, one of them snapped. Always wear safety glasses as it hit me in the forehead, just as an FYI. Anyways, this is your frame rail opening, and that is what we're drilling out, all these little holes right here. And here's part of the apron, all those holes as well. So we're just basically drilling out the welds, frame that up, just so we can prepare this to go onto the car itself. Okay, it took a while, but got the old frame rails and aprons drilled out. Now we're just left with our sheet metal piece of radiator support, which will be going on to project CB9. So hopefully the body shop's got some good news for us that it's not frame related, it's just a core support replacement. So basically they'll be spot welding on the frame rails and all the apron points of what we just drilled out. So it took a while, but that's okay. Safety first. Always wear your safety glasses. There's a lot of metal shavings involved, and went through some drill bits as well. So make sure you got some sharp drill bits and plenty of them. So this is a tedious process, but this is all part of body work and making that CB9 right. Hopefully we got some good news at the body shop. We'll keep you posted. All right guys, I don't have any video footage of this car in the process of getting the core support and the frame rail bent back into position. Obviously this was at the body shop, but I did go ahead and ask the body shop guy to take some pictures or maybe send me some video clips of the car throughout the process. Told him I was making some documentary in the car. Anyhow, he gave me some pictures. So one of the pictures were the car on the frame rack with the passenger frame rail being bent back into position, and then the core support with the paint process. And I've got a little video clip of the core support welded and painted in position. Anyhow, the main problems on this car was the frame rail on the passenger side was bent over by 1 inch. The previous owner decided not to rebend the frame rails, and what happened was the core support that was on there was a cheap aftermarket. It was spliced in position, so the original was on the bottom and the aftermarket one was on the top, and that's kind of why it was crooked with the headlights and grille assembly. So that's just a very shoddy way of doing a car repair. Anyhow, this body shop made things right. Frame rails are straightened out, the core support is straight, so this car is starting to take shape. Anyhow, here are some pictures from the body shop. Alright, as you can see, there's some gappage between the fender and the lights itself. Also here on the driver's side, a little bit of gap right there. Bumper is pushed in correctly, and this is resting onto the bumper, so that leads me to believe that this can be adjusted. So there's some adjustments on those two 10mm bolts. So we'll go ahead and try that out, see if we can get this centered. Other than that, bumper looks like it fits tight to the fender. Grille is straight. It's a good thing. A few more adjustments and this car's body should be straightened out.
Over, pull me down.
Okay guys, got the headlights, grille, bumper gaps all aligned to my satisfaction. Getting this car home from the body shop, I was not very happy of how they neglected to spend the time in order to properly measure things out and make sure everything's spaced right. So I went ahead and took the bumper off, the headlights and the grille, and started from scratch. Although I will give the body shop credit, they did a good job on the sheet metal, the welding, paint work, and obviously the frame work. So this car is now straight. Now if you're gonna buy a car, just keep in mind, you better make sure that it was not in a wreck, because once a car is in an accident, a car will never be 100% from where it was from the factory. This car is about maybe 98% there, and I'll go ahead and show you why that's 98 and not 100%. So the passenger side took the blunt of all the impact on the previous accident. This was off by 1 inch on the frame rail on the passenger side. Anyways, so this little discrepancy here. So you can see this fender is just sticking out about maybe a 1/16 or maybe an 1/8 of an inch inside the fender well. Now this bumper is now mounted to the bumper support, and that is then mounted to the core support, which the frame rails are right behind there. In order to correct this, you would have to put some spacers on the bumper beam in order to push this bumper a little bit forward. So this bumper's got a little bit of damage to it. As you can see right here, this is broken right here. There's some broken parts down here. Plus this is a wagon bumper. The coupe and sedan bumper has a more aggressive front nose to it. This has got a more longer nose snout to it, so it's a little bit shorter. So if I can find a replacement bumper for this, I'll definitely do it. But in the meantime, this is all put back together. Pretty happy of how it turned out. No more sloping headlights going down that way. And the next major step, we've got an engine hoist from a neighbor. So that will be the next major task on this car. Overall, not too bad for being in a front-end collision in its past life, and this frame rail right here being off by 1 inch. So I think the body shop did a pretty good job on certain aspects, but I was able to square away all the fine details, as you could say. All right guys, Project CB9 body issues are now resolved. The frame rails have been straightened out, the core support has been replaced. Now when I bought this car, keep in mind, I specifically asked the seller if this car has ever been in an accident. I was told no, it was not. However, further investigation with me digging in, it sure enough was. But anyhow, it's another story for another day. We've got a lot more issues to resolve in this car, including interior work and engine and transmission work. Hope you guys can tune along. If you guys like this video, please give me a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe. Have a great day.